Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Yeah, thank you, Abdul. Yeah, welcome, guys. I think we have two people here. Yeah, can you just introduce yourself in the chat, just to get familiar with who are on the call, so that because we'll be using your name just to interact with you, for basis of people that are on call today. Yeah, just introduce yourself. Yeah, and where maybe name, just say my name and then what you do. Yeah, maybe I'll be using your what you do also as an example for the class today, and also yeah, I think that those two things are major that I need. Welcome. Yeah, it will be an interesting one. Just introduce yourself so that we just start and then everybody can go back to whatsoever they have for the rest of the day. All right, while I'm waiting for what your responses or from by your name of your name and what you do. I would like us to ask. Have we listened to the last recording? If you were not in the class, and then do you have any question from last recording? It will be to be glad for me to address that. If you have any question from the last class, let me know, and then we can address that now. Hi, Francis. Thank you. Hi, Damilare. We have Francis Damilare. We have Anulu Akpo. I think Anu was here last time. We have Abdul. Yeah, we have Damilare. I remember Damilare was working supply chain. Yeah, any question from last class? I think, and then so that we can proceed. If you have any question, let me know. I can take that before we proceed for today's class. Our Zoom, is there no question? Can we respond? Or do you guys think is this channel is not the best way to pass the class? Whatsoever you think, your suggestion, questions, contribution, suggestion, just let me know in the chat, then so that we can pick up and then we can do better. That's actually what TB will do. We'll learn from what we've done last time and see, do we do well? Is it what we can, is it the best we can get? Can we improve on it? What do we do well? What do we do well? What we didn't do well? And what do we improve on? And another one, yeah, what we're happy with. We can use different languages. 18 to 5 minutes already. Like, okay, you guys want me to proceed with this class because I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I'll assume that we are all good with what we have the last class, and then we can proceed. All right. Okay. Concerning the assignment, how do we submit it when course it when course the submission date is? Did I put December 11? I think I put February 11. That will be on Tuesday or February. Yeah, was it Tuesday? I think I put February. Yeah, I'll check, but I doubt if I'll put 11 because it's automated. The classroom is automated. You can submit it on that same platform. Just someone has submitted, or many people have submitted. Just use that same channel and submit. Attach what it is expected. What your February 10. Yeah, I know that I put. I think I put it before the class, or I knew I put it. Uh, it's automated. I can't go back to December. I know that one is so sure that. But yeah, the idea how I do this class before is that I do it on weekly basis. All right. But what we've come to understand also, people get tired because it will span for like 5 6 weeks. People, lags. People have lag, we get tired in the process. Some people drop off and all of that, and that's what we're trying to improve. Let's see if we can do twice a week, and then get things better, because people get tired. People get tired. As a focus span is so short now for every individual. And then yeah, that's what. And then what I do before is that I will give the assignment. We normally have the class on Saturdays, just time this same time, and I give the assignment. I tell them to submit by Thursday midnight, and then by Friday, people start submitting earlier, and then but the deadline will be Thursday midnight, and then by Friday, I start giving feedbacks on the assignments, and then when we come to class, from the assignment, I understand the perspective, or I understand what people don't understand from the previous class. And then that's the first. I write it down. I come. That's the first thing I'll talk about, feedback from past class. Some classes I take it again because I've come to understand maybe many people did not understand what I passed across, not because we started using tools, or because the language is being. Yeah, I take the class again, and just take our time to look at it very well, and people catch up. But at the same time, we don't want it to expand 5 6 weeks now. We want to bring two classes in a week and see how we can, so that people can just get whatever they want to get, and we can build on it. People that want to build on it subsequently. But for now, that's all we have. All right, I'll just start the class. If you, yeah, I think that's what we can do for now. All right. For today's class, we'll be looking at stakeholder management. Yeah, I think. I mean, we'll be looking at stakeholder management, and I looked at this last week. I think I'll just uh brief on it again. We have how to I talk about stakeholder. I said it last week also, that stakeholder is actually one of the major area in business analysis and project management. We can't run away from this, because it's so big, and it's so important that we can't do without it, because it's what you are doing essentially is just about people. All right. And then I've talked about that stakeholder is an individual, group, or organization that have interest in, or is affected, or can influence the operational decision and outcome of a project, institution, or system. All right. And then we use the example of a hospital. And we have this way we matrix. There's something we call RISI matrix. We have people that are responsible. We have people that are accountable. People that are responsible is that they are the one that are responsible in executive the task. Business analyst, project manager, the developer, the tester, the head of project, head of platform, all those stuff. People are very, very responsive. Depending on the project, the project sponsor, person that release money, maybe the CEO in case of Dangote, or banks, or whosoever that you are working with. People that are accountable is that who is accountable for completion of each of the tasks now. For each task now, for every segment, we divide it. Let's say each of who will release money, that's the person that is accountable. The person can be responsible and also be accountable. Who will release money? Dangote, you need to sign it. The account department, these are the people that are accountable now. Who will release the money? Who will help us to to get the idea, speak to us from the marketing team? Those guys are accountable also. And then in this case also, we have people who do we consult. We have who need to provide this input and expertise to the task. What do we mean by that is that we're having Jumia is having an issue, and then with their delivery. And then what we need to do is that we need to speak to some people. Who do we need to speak to? We need to speak to the delivery man. We need to speak to the operation manager. We need to speak to that section, or that department of people. Those that people will consult, just like consultation, will consult them. What's your problem? What do you want? What do you think? Do you think we can do it this way? And do you think we can get it this way? And then that's it. And then we need to be informed. We need to stay up to date. Just like I gave an example last week. I gave an example of if they want to do Lagos Ibadan, yeah, like this week now, This for people in Nigeria also, or even listen to the news all over the world. You listen that on the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, they want to renovate or upgrade some part of it. They said they want to shut it down for 6 weeks, or they want to do so, not shut down now. They want to work on it for 6 weeks, and they release it in the news. Why did they release it in the news? They want you guys to be informed. Now, whosoever that hear it now, I may hear it because I'm not going through that road. It's not my problem. But whosoever that goes through that road has been informed. Because that one was on a larger scale now. But on a smaller scale, like I use an example also of the app. If you are banking with anybody or you are using any services and then they want to go on routine maintenance, they will send you an email that between so time and time your app may not work, or maybe you may experience some delay. Is because they are doing some upgrade and all of that. Even your phones, there's something that pops up regularly and say, do you want to upgrade your phone? Do you want to update to the latest version and all of that? That you need to be informed. That's informed. That's the way informed. And then if you look at this table also, you can see that the CIO here, when they are defining, this is the tax, this is the stakeholders, this matrix are now, this is the stakeholders, this is tax. When they are defining the requirement and specification of what they want to use, the CIO is being consulted, the CTO is being informed, just informed at that point. The CEO now is responsible, the project manager is accountable, is the one to ensure that the project completed. The sales team is just to be informed. You just need to inform them because they are assisting, because it doesn't concern them at that point. Marketing team, like I said, need to be consulted, and others that need to be consulted also. When they want to develop it, CIO need to be consulted, CTO now, it now change to be responsible, not informed in this case. And CEO now just need to be informed. We are progressing, like Dangote, you're just telling me we are progressing on the project. Just want to inform you. At that point, project manager still need to be accountable, and sales team needs to be informed, marketing and others need to be consulted. When they want to test it now, CIO need to be consulted, CTO need to be consulted. This CEO just need to be informed. Project manager need to be responsible, so that just to be responsible that we ensure that we test what we've developed and all of that. It just I've shared this in the last class. You can just read through, but just to give you guys an idea of how things work. And I've shared this last week also, the example, the way we this is just example of we want to build an app or a website for Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. And then what we want to do is that we want to map our stakeholder. I want to understand who our stakeholder is now. I said it that who is a stakeholder? Anybody, organization, group of people that is interested, affected, or influence the outcome of the project. I said this the last class also. These are guys are in this case now. We have internal now, we have external. We have people within the organization, we have people outside the organization. I've run through this last week. Just say I should just put some emphasis on it. Interest responsible now, the way I break it down now, responsible are consultant, to consult people that are stakeholder. These are high influence people, and these are people that you need to be responsible and consulted. Sir, we want to do this. This guy needs to be responsible and consulted. This guy needs to be accountable and consulted. What do you want on the app? We'll speak to the consultant and specialist. What do you want on the app? How do you want it to function? What is your day-to-day job? If you put everything you are doing right now on the app, it may not function very well. That's the discussion we'll have individually. Like, everybody needs to be consulted. Is either through workshop, we put them all together. And I've said that last week, how to gather requirement in such a way that you need to gather requirement differently, because the way you gather requirement with these guys, which is the executive and governances stakeholder, is different. The way you gather these guys, you may not have the opportunity to bring them together in the same meeting. And then what you do in this case, you meet them one after the other. You use interview in this case. But in this case, you can still have some people, maybe not all of them, just select two from each department to represent the whole department and say, guys, you bring them together, you use workshop in this case. In this case, also, you can use workshop. In some cases, you can use document. I've explained that last week. You guys can listen to the recording and the slide, you get it there. And the resident doctor also, you ask them, how do you want, what do you want on it? The medical doctor, the nurses and midwife. What the nurses want is different from what the midwife are, because midwives, their section, what what affect them is so different that everybody has their own what they want, and that's why you need to consult them, and they need to be accountable also. And and then so long list here. And these guys need to be accountable and consulted. Why? Because the HR also needs to be, maybe do you want anything on it, on the website? Do you want the career? Yeah, you see most of the website have career and jobs, section, and that's HR. The finance, do you want them to be paying? Do you want us, when the payment, do you is when I book an appointment, can I pay on the website? The finance need to be consulted and accountable also. But what we did here is that this is a clinical stakeholder, like people in within clinical. Clinical means people within there are nurses, professionals, doctors, and all of that. Non-clinical they are professional on their own also, but different professional, maybe accountant, HR, legal, lawyers, and all of that. That's head of security, maintenance engineer. These are also, but they are not clinical. Clinical, they are not dealing with medicine or medical related issues, and that is what we have here. And then if you go to the next slide, we have patient and external users. Now we are in the external stakeholder, because patient now, they are not within the organization, they are outside the organization. And now, what do they want to achieve? Okay, maybe I should read the interest. Faster appointment, that's what they want. But firstly, you need to consult them also. What has been your issue? What when we come, it used to be delay. We come here 8, but before we see doctor, it will be 2. We are tired already. You need to listen to what they want to, what their pain point also. That's their issues, their problem. You need to listen to them, and then you document it. And then one of them said, we've done this one. One of them said they want faster appointment. Okay. Yeah, they say they want faster appointment, they want electronic payment. Say that most time when they come with cash, they get the money lost, or people rob them and all of that. And then they don't want to, experience that. That's where you as a BA, you know that, okay, it's like on our website now, we need to have a payment platform. You need to make sure that they can pay, because that's what they want, electronic payment. Some things they may want may not be possible, which we've discussed last class also, but there's a way she should just, what we want to ensure is that we go from very difficult situation to much better situation, and then even from much better to better, and better, because that's what we want to have. We may develop the website today, we just put how to book appointment, make payment. Tomorrow we just say, okay, we want them to be, able to speak to the doctor online instead of coming to hospital. To the next development may be, we want to make sure that they can get their drugs delivered to them at their doorstep, at their houses. These are what we, instead of them coming. What about, okay, the dog the what about at times, even if you come to the hospital and the drugs or medicine or your prescriptions are out of stock, we can get a way to send it to you and inform you when it's in stock. These are things that you need to speak to and you need to analyze as a business analyst. Yeah. And then these are what they want, transparent result also, because at some point they say, people tamper with their result. A lot issues, and these are what you experience. Mobile access also, want to see, okay, instead of having to, I don't have webs, I don't have a laptop, can I access it on my mobile? A lot of what they want to, get out of it. And then people that are in that category are patient, their patient themselves, inpatient, people that are working, people on admission, caregiver, people that are taking care of their patient, of their loved ones, patient relative, patient advocacy groups, some people just on charity, community representative, on charity also. So many things we can have, we can, or people we can speak to, or group of people we can speak to. And people in academic and research now, what's their interest? Access to accurate data for training and researches. Because in some cases, even in other countries that are not Nigeria or outside Africa, you see that they will tell you when you are building, when you are going for a treatment, they will ask you, do you want the sample, the rest of the sample to be used for research and training? You may agree to it, you may disagree to it, but these are why these guys need to be informed that some, if people agree to it, we need to send it to you. That's why you need to speak to College of Medicine, University of Lagos, School of Nursing, Medical. These are organizations or schools or or a high institution that you need research and unit and data science team. You just need to speak to them, and also from their record, they will tell you guys if this is the symptoms you guys are saying, and all of that. You guys work hand to hand. That's actually stakeholder, and the regulatory body also say they want compliance, data security, quality assurance, because this government, that's government. Government is after the good of the people, make sure that people are happy, and then and the data security of people is secure, quality assurance. People are getting what they paid for, and that's why we have these guys here. Um, yeah. And then if you go back to I go back to the clinical, you see what they want is faster workflow, accurate record. Because in some cases you just say, we can't find your file. It will reduce error also, because once you type it. I gave an example last week that we someone took someone to hospital. A colleague of mine was going to hospital like three occasions, and he was complaining. It's like he's going um reducing in weight. And the nurse was like, are you sure the doctor was saying, are you sure you're reducing in weight? Say yes, it's sure. It looks like his clothes or his jewelry is not fitting him again. And they brought out the record, and then the record shows 2 months ago he was 70, 3 months ago he was 68, and now he was 70.1. And the record just cleared that there's no error, that previously this has been your record of your weight, and that just cleared it out, and that was not, it saved a lot of issues. But that's actually one of the good thing or good side of it. Yeah. We have the external, still have the external, the vendor, people that will build the system. Maybe, they are not IT. Maybe they will outsource it to you or me or my team, and they will build it for them. We need to be informed also. We need to be accountable also. And we have the national NLC and co NMA, all these guys also. We are building because they need to be informed, because they are responsible for their people. Yeah, and again, let's not forget also, there are some people that are not stakeholders in that regard. Now they are not stakeholders. Who are not stakeholders? People that are not, that have no relationship with loot at that time. People that have never used the service, have no interaction. Random member, because we can't just send to everybody in Lagos State. We can send to people in Mushin local government or Ikeja local government, where the hospital are. They may be our stakeholder, but people in Lekki, people in Bagada, they are not our stakeholders in this case. That's what we need to understand also. People, citizens with no connections with law, people living in other states, even people in Ogun State, people in Songwater, people in other country, they have they are not our stakeholders. Also, businesses that doesn't provide healthcare or support service, supermarket, they are not our stakeholders, because we don't, except we want to put in hospital they have where they sell food or little things for people to, except we want to put that on the website. But aside that, we don't need supermarket is not, or owners of supermarket is not our stakeholder. Fashion boutique, restaurants, all these guys are not our stakeholders in this project or on this project. And non-related government bodies, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Sport, Aviation, News Agency, Federal Reserve. These guys are not our, you know, our stakeholder on this project. Get it now? If we do another project, maybe you want to do something else, they may be our stakeholder. But I just want to put it out there. Just in understanding your stakeholder, you need to be able to identify them and understand them. And then the last one here should be competitors hospital. Maybe Lasut now. Lasut is Ikeja, and Lut is in Mushin. They are not our stakeholder because we are not building for them, and we are not responsible for whatsoever that happened then. Eco hospital, all other hospital, they are not our stakeholder. Yeah. And then stakeholder for, okay, this is just another example for Jumia. I did another example. You guys can read this up. Just the same example for, I think that will surely make you understand better. But this is another example for Jumia, who stakeholder is, who are not a stakeholder. You need to understand the problem first. The first thing is, what they want to do is they want to improve delay orders and customer experience. Who are stakeholders now? Operation and logistic, head of operation that are stakeholders. Internal now, what do they want? This is what they want. What do we do? How do we get about it, or who do we speak to? These are people that we'll speak to, and what is their role? This is what they will give us. And same thing, I expanded it here just for you to see. Commercial and vendor stakeholder, they are high interest and influence. We have, and then they are responsible and consulted also. All right. And then you can see even here we say responding, sometimes accountable. It may not, sometimes, it may not be every time. What did they want? Ensuring seller dispatch order on time, maintaining accurate stock levels. These are a lot of those what they want. Who are we to speak to, or who gave us this requirement? These are the guys that told us that this is what they want. And how do we, what is their role? How do they help us? These are, a lot of things are written down. All right. Going forward now, we have different type. I think mentioned something about this last week, of business analysts. And then yeah, we have different types. We have guys work on software and system requirement. You have process analysts focusing on improving processes, business processes. Maybe I'm joining MTN today, and they have an established process already. We just want to improve them. I'm joining ShopRite or any organization today. There's an established one already. Want to see, or WhatsApp, I'm joining Netflix or TikTok today. Every time they bring out new features on TikTok, WhatsApp, and all of that, these guys are improving. These are process analysts. And we have business improvement analysts. These guys just interpret data, and just say, last year we make people are using so. We can understand that 10,000 people use our website, and most of them drop. Because when you use a drop off at the checkout page, can we understand why did they drop off? These are what you'll be looking at. You'll be looking at the back end, more of the back end, more of what is happening behind the website or behind the businesses. And that's what you do. And system also is just understanding the business needs, and just what we are explaining now, that system analyst. You have product analyst. You understand, just like influencer, I say those influencers, you study the product and bring up what you guys can, speaking to A, B, C, you just help them to improve the product's value or enhance the product value. We have consulting BA. Consulting BA is people that, like, I think this kind of role I'm playing now, teaching you guys now, I've been consulted. I have some roles also that I've been consulted. I speak for, maybe I speak, my colleague has a platform. I've been speak to them. Yeah, and then, or I just have this kind of loot project that we talk about. Luz does not have an IT department, or even if they are, they just have one or two people. They will outsource it to me, and I'll build the website for them. And these are consulting BA. And then we have product owner. Product owner is technically another role also, but BA can function in it. The business tell you what they want. you take it down, you break it down, which is what we are doing now, and we'll get to it. And project manager, you can function as project manager also. Just understand what the project problem is, manage the problem, speak to all people that are involved or the stakeholder that are involved, and you get it all. And we have the last one, we have business architect. Business architect is more of system. You understanding the system is more vast. It's like putting three BA together to understand. People graduate to that, and then you understand front end, you provide solution. In this case now, you can say, okay, with the way I'm looking at this, with what we've done in the past, you can provide solution. But the key takeaway is that business analyst is versatile. You can specialize in technology, data, process, strategy, depending on your career path. Yeah, why did I bring this is because want to choose, or you may just want to focus on one area. There's finance analyst. You can function as finance analyst, work in a bank. Some people work in finance. Some people work BA that work in HR. Some people work in sales. You can just choose one part and focus on it. But it's so vast that, but you can move from one place to another. One good thing is that once if I move from finance today to engineering tomorrow, when I join them, they'll still give me some they'll give me their document to study to understand how they work in their own business. Because if you move from MTN to Glow will not say because you've been working in telecommunication system or industry, you ordinarily know everything, you know what they want. No, they will sit you down, they'll tell you what they want, then you guys can proceed. Yeah, before I proceed, any question at this point? Question. Yeah, my screen. Okay. When has my screen been really? Screen is blank. This issue is down. Okay, I'm trying to see this medium is better. At least schedule. Okay, for example, your screen is on. There is no way to call your attention unless you check the chat, but soon can. Okay, yeah, I get the, yeah, I get the idea. Okay, I don't know when my screen has been blank, but yeah, I believe this is what I've shared the other time. I don't know how that happened, but see how we can manage that. All right, now I'll be moving to, yeah, sorry guys. I'll be moving to understand. I don't know, I've been blank for. But can you guys see my screen now? Sorry, can you just? Yes, I can see it. Thank you. All right, I'll just manage it. Yeah, thank you. I'll see how can. That's funny. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Um. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to talk about stakeholder management. Stakeholder management. Make emphasis on stakeholder now, and then when we look at the JD or that vacancy we saw, and it's how to manage stakeholder also. All right, because it's so key that you need to know how to manage your stakeholder. What happened is you need to understand your stakeholder, because the success of the project depend on the stakeholder and how you, all right, and then that's why I want to talk about stakeholder management, then I talk about the document, and then we can close for today. I wrote there, I say effective stakeholder engagement and structure, empathy, and clarity, empathy, clarity, and agility. All right. What does that mean? Is that first time I interacted with you guys is that I asked you guys for your name, and then I asked you guys for where you are, maybe where you are calling from or where you based, and I asked you guys for what to do. Why did I do that? I did that because I want to understand where do you base. I want to understand how will I communicate with you. I want to understand a bit, even without meeting you or without having discussion with you. I want to have an idea of who you are. And then I can see some people are not in the time zone. I want to understand time zone also. In the time zone I am, or that many of us are. All right. And that's why, so that when we communicate to them, we know that they are getting the information at the right time. All right. Because if we sending the information, assuming my stakeholder is in my time zone and they are 10 hours ahead of me, and I need the information respond as soon as possible, means that I won't get what I want, or the project will not proceed. All right. And also, you need to have some empathy. You need to know how to speak to people. We're not saying respect is key, especially if you are working with a company that is not African oriented. In Nigeria, or Africa generally, we like sir. One of my students working in Nigeria with one, I think, finance company, said a stakeholder will say, hey, can you yeah, once the stakeholder give her the requirement, the stakeholder will be asking her, when will you deliver, when will you deliver. I've not understand what to give me. You just want asking me when it just tell the person, yeah, I'll have a look at it, or I'll analyze it, and I'll get back to you. That's the best way. You can't just say, oh, or you just don't push back. You just speak calmly. That's Nigeria. I think I wrote something like that. The Nigeria or African thing. They just want to pressure you. In some area, there's structure. Once they give you this size of work, it's 2 weeks. Once they give you this size of work, it's 4 weeks, and all of that. Do you understand? But that's what we need to understand here, because background, where you are coming from, you don't know who you work with. I don't know you guys who work with currently, but you need to know how to speak to your stakeholder. You need to understand their cultural differences. You need to and need to respect, because some stakeholder can see it as, if you are calling them 2 times, or they see it as you are rude, or you are all over them, and they don't like it. All right. And but you need to understand one thing. First, you need to understand, how do they want to be communicated to. I think I said it last week also, that you can't just wake up and call me. I think I personally, in my personal life, I like to be communicated via chat or text. Just drop it. When If you drop it, if I understand why you want to call me, and you call me, I'll pick your call. But you just wake up and call me, like, no, I have so many things at hand now, because I don't know what you want to bring up. I don't know if I don't know what the gist. I don't want, just text me. So happen. Yeah, okay. I may be the one to proactively call you. All right. I think everybody likes the way, and I think everybody has that kind of biases also. Yeah, that's what we want to understand in this case. It happened very well here, because we'll be speaking with a lot of people. Imagine that hospital that we use as an example, speaking to doctors, not one doctor, medical doctor, large chunk of them, surgeon and all of them, large chunk of them, specialists, large chunk of them. And these are educated people in their right, knowledgeable people in their own right. You need to know how to speak to them and all of that. That's what we want to understand. And also, we want to ensure that all of them understand what you are saying, or what you are saying in a plain language. Like I said last week, art is a language that everybody understands. All right, and then that's what we are doing. And there's a cultural consideration in Nigeria also. Some people like sir. If I think most of us, some of us that experience this in university or higher institution, when you call a professor or doctor, the way he will look at you, the person might fail you in the process, might fail that you may fail that course because they felt that you disrespected him or her. Don't you know I'm a professor? Now address me as professor. People want to, you need to understand how they want to be addressed. All right. People want man, people want engineer, people want oga. Yeah, that's oga. Those things, little things may influence how the person respond to you. If I call my professor sir now, the man, I'm a service is ego, and like I'm just saying that's Nigeria culture, African culture. But if you're working with people outside Africa, what they want is that my name is Ademola and I want to be called Ade. They like to, you ask them once first you meet your client also. So how do you want to be addressed? Sorry, how do you want to be addressed? That is their own way. They don't want engineer, chief. You can see now it's a balance. I want to be addressed as Ade, and don't call me Ademola. That means that don't call the person Ademola. I want to be addressed as Dave. Don't call me David. These are little things. It can look simple, but it matters a lot. I think there's a clip one time and President Tinubu was at a place with Aliko Dangote, and the MC addressed Aliko Dangote as president. And when Dangote took the mic, he said, "There's only one president in this all," because the MC addressing Dangote as president of Aliko Dangote Group. Aliko took the mic and said, "There's only one president in this all. There's only this president of Nigeria." You can see that that's a stakeholder management. That's a big management. That little things that he trended and all of that little thing will have done so much to the ego of President Tinubu, his political allies, people working with him, that will favor or might favor Dangote. I don't know if I'm making sense. Just let me know in the chat if I'm making sense. I want to, these are little things that you guys see around, and this is business analysis. This is what you see, because people, you will be amazed that people you'll be speaking with, because they want their problem to be solved. You'll be amazed people you'll be speaking with. You'll be speaking with your CEO that have billions of, that is a billionaire in dollars. How do you want to speak to him? Imagine yourself in front of Elon Musk, and truly business analyst will sit or speak over the phone or YouTube live, Zoom live, or whosoever live with Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is saying, guys, they are complaining about, you'll be there. How do you want to say? Will it be jittering? How do you want to say yes, sir? You don't say sir in this, in those parts of the country. Sir is like, no, are you being bullied? They don't want, it's like you are, they don't call Elon is Mox. If you want to call Mox now, say Mr. Mox, that's his surname. If I want to call someone, give us his name, Damilari, yeah, Mr. Oyenide. If I want to call Damilari now, if I want to call him, maybe I want to respect him. I don't know how he want. I will just ask him, Damilari, how do you want me to call you? Or how do you like to be addressed? He will be the one to say he prefer Damilari, he prefer Dari, prefer Dami. He will tell you what he wants. Yeah, that's the first thing you want to establish someone. And if I want to call him, just want to make him pop up, I'll just say Mr. Oyenide. Just call his attention. Like, this is, just understand people. It's very, very key. I just feel like you guys should put it out there. It help you, it make your work easy. Because in the long run, you are getting problems. They don't tell you what they want, you build nonsense. At the end of the day, what you build will not may not solve what they want. I believe that. Yeah, I think another one is sorry. Another one here is manage stakeholders conflict. Yeah, there will be a lot of conflict. I say before, marketing will have different thing. They want different thing. Remember that stuff I shared. Everybody will want different thing. Even on this call now, you see someone is saying, "Let's go to Google Meet." Someone is saying we can use this. Everybody have it, and someone that's saying we should go to Google Meet. See now. Let me use that as an example. Who's that? Anoluapo said when the screen was blank, they would have unmuted themselves. As in, I'm expanding it now, and call my attention. Very valid point. Very valid point. But someone is saying also, we can continue to use this. At least they will be recorded, and the person, whosoever that is missed the class, can get it. That's a very beautiful one. I don't need to struggle to look for example. Those are two conflicts. These are conflict, but they are not fighting. When you say conflict, just like people are not. Now I will now come. I'll be the business and I say, okay, guys, you guys have make them valuable. Someone is saying because everybody have opinion to their, entitled to their own opinion and have a reason of saying that. Me, I want Google Pay. I want Palm Pay. No, let's use money point. Everybody has why or good reason for us to put money point, Palm Pay, OPay, Access Bank on our website so that you don't need because so that must be GTB, it must be GTB. Because I was working somewhere before, and then the person said, "Hey, yeah, we were working." When I joined the company, he said, "Which bank are you using?" I said, "I think I said Access Bank." Say no, no, for you to work here, you must join GTB. I need to, you must use TCB. I need to open GTB at that time because they were giving that was because I'm the employee. And guess what? The access ban I had then said was because of an employee also said that's their what they want when they employ me. It was, but I need to play along. That was because it's employee to employer. Do you understand? But in this case now, everybody, these people that are saying, I know now, let me look, I think I know Oluwapo now have the same right on this call as Abdul. Do you get it now? They have, or in some cases, even if it's higher than the other, but in this call now, for this example that we are using, they have the same, they are the same level, irrespective of their age, wherever they are calling from, whosoever they are, that's stakeholder for you. And how do that manage now? You understand them, tell them that what they say is true, you understand them, or you understand their biases, or you understand what they have said. All right, then you now make the two of them understand, yeah, if you use this will be why we are using this. If you use that, this is why. You make sure you understand them, listen to them first. I didn't antagonize any of you because you guys are my stakeholders. All right, you listen to both party, you tell them. At some point I may bring two, maybe they send an email, you guys send this in as email on different time. I may invite two of you to a call, or like in a Zoom call, so, and I start talking to two of you, and now it won't degrade. I've listened to you, I've spoken to you, I've listened, and now bring together. Yeah, why am I calling this call? Is because I want know and Abdul to understand that this is what we want to do, and this is why I want to do this, is why you want to do this, and before you know it, they will agree because you've listened to them. They did not say, "Oh, that Anu said his own is too much." It's always, or that Abdul, why is he saying no? It won't progress, but you need to understand and listen to them, and that's what it is. I think that makes sense, right? All right. Before acting, you need to understand why conflict exists. They didn't just happen. If people just didn't just wake up and type that, you need to understand misaligned expectation. Maybe they are not saying what you are saying. Maybe maybe they are not, they feel left out, maybe they are not informed enough. I worked on a project, and the they call them the program manager now. When I was working on the project, whenever I have, because how do you inform people? At times you don't need to be calling them anu anu. There's a way. We'll get to the next class, we'll start using tools next class. Yeah, maybe fourth class, that way I'll get to there, but we'll start using our tools on the next class. I'll give you guys some link you guys should download before our next class, so that we will now come and then start using the tools together on the screen or in the class. All right. But what am I saying now is that we need to the program manager. How do I inform him? For everything I do, I just do art. I just contact, put him on my ticket, and I send it to him and all of that. And then he need to come to me and say, Ademola, he likes that I'm informing him, but if it's not something I need to inform, I did not tag him on that. Like tag now, just you tag someone on WhatsApp or all those, should not tag him on that, except I want him to work for me or do something for me. He just came to me and that's what he wants. And me, initially, I was just feeling like, let me keep this guy informed, this what is going on in the project. By that, just adding him to that email and all of that. But he came to me and said, like, if it's not working, you can drop me off of that's how people also. And the person, there's one I'm working currently with now, he wants to be tagged on everything. And that's what I'm doing. For every, even if I write, I know Luapo came to the class, I'll just say, for your information, who else? John Paul. That's how, because John Paul now wants me to be informing of everything. That's what is happening, right? There's maybe communication gap also. How do you manage conflict, or how do you make, there'll be communication? It may be big. The English I may be using may be big for the person. Well, what this guy is saying, and he may be saying the same thing, but you need to understand what people actually want, right? And then we have the next one, be facilitate open communication. When we facilitate open communication, you create safe environment. Make sure them that you are good. You also, you want to listen to them. You want to clarify things, misunderstanding. You don't want to hold grudges. Don't want to take side. Yeah, no, I don't want to take side with her. No, Abdul. No, no, you need to be neutral. You need to, you need to be neutral. You can see what I said here. Old neutral workshop, that's why I'm saying I'll call Anu and Abdul together in a neutral workshop and listen to them, and and let them understand. Like, guys, you guys are not enemy. We all want the same thing for the progress of this project or this complaint, and this is what we want to do. Neutral, validate each party concern, which I say, okay, I know this is why we are using the Abdul, this is why I'm using it. Clarify misunderstanding. Let them understand that there's no, your role is to be unbiased facilitator. All right, you need to be unbiased and revisit and clarify requirement. Conflict often arise from unclear or involving requirement to resolve. Maybe the thing is not clear to the person. The man is just pushing back. Some people can push back. You say, sir, can we, or Ade, or whosoever, can we do? No, the person, some people don't just want to hear because they don't understand, and they just give them time, send it in an email and say, at that time, this is what I'm trying to understand, explain to you, and can you have a time and look at this document that I prepare, give you better understanding of it. The person by the end of the day just say, oh, I think this is better, and it solved the problem. Reconfirm business goal. Remember the text we did last week? The test we did last week is that you don't just assume things. That's what the man wants. You need to come back and say, from what you told us, this is what you want on the project and all of that. Give what through. We'll get to this. These are big English existing requirement. What do you guys have already? From what I see, this is how you people operate your business already. This is how you want to, what you want to do. Use visual aid. You remember last week I said you would do map. I used architect more last week, or this, yeah, it is last class. Architect, showing diagrams, showing visuals. Visual is the best language. Everybody understand. Even Chinese, Thailand, anybody. Maybe what they may understand it their own language, but it's what everybody understand. Document all decision. Yeah. Whatever we agree on, you document it. So that because people can be very, very dicey and they come tomorrow and tell you they didn't agree to that. They didn't agree to that decision. But once it's documented, nobody will say they didn't agree to it. And then the last, manage the expectation also. How do you manage setting a line? How to manage expectation, communicate trade-offs? Yeah, you can tell them I've worked on a project that they want security, they want cheap product. Let's say I want to do an app for you. You say you want to spend $10,000, but you tell me you want security, you want thumbprint, you want fingerprint, you want this one, you want everything on the project. And I tell you, I'll come back to you and I say your department, your sales department is saying they want everything, but your finance is saying, no, they only have $10,000. They need to trade off. You need to speak to them to trade off. If you want it at $10,000, it will have A, B, C. It will only have A, B, C. It won't have D. But if you can improve your or increase your budget, you can put D. It just ability to communicate. We all sell market. Supply chain is here. We sell something. We have a trader last week. I don't know if he or she's on the call. You have people that are doing absolutely well here for themselves, and that's what you are doing currently. You just to use better language, persuasion, and all of that to get what people want. Right. And what else? I think, and typically, okay, yeah, like I said the other time, typical Nigeria man or executive in Lagos or Nigeria, they demand aggressive timeline. Don't commit to what you can achieve. Try, with time, you don't get it. Maybe the first time you say, okay, can you guys give me 2 weeks? And if you use less than 2 weeks, the next time you can commit less than it. But you just need to give yourself allowance. Because if a project fail, the first person they are coming to is you. Because they'll say maybe you did not capture the requirement, all the requirement, and you don't want that to happen. Operation team may delay approval, may have issues like so many issues, pushing times. You need to document it. Once you document this one, it won't come back on you. Vendor may miss deadline due to power. So many things may happen because a strong BA preempts all this with proactive communication and expected expectation setting. What happens is that you will have seen it, you have sensed it, that the way this man is responding to email. Yeah, I know some people even here that you send email to them, they don't respond 2 days. You need to raise it. It's a concern. Because if that person, because if I send email to Abdul today, he responding by today is Saturday, by Tuesday, and now the project I'm working on is 2 weeks. If I need another email, that means he will respond by Thursday or Friday. 1 week is gone. And I need to tell someone that, can we chase Abdul? Can someone help us see if Abdul can? And that's why you need to understand what Abdul wants. Maybe Abdul just want call and just solve the problem. Yeah, and that's why it may be you do not understand how Abdul want to be communicated with, and then that's happened. All right, and then I think the last one, you need to build relationship. Yeah, you need to, the last slide now, you need to build relationship. All right, build relationship. You need to establish trust. You don't build over service or high service, if I may say. But you need to just have some kind of relationship. They know that when they ask you question, respond to them. When they need you, you do you don't do too much, like, but you do your role. You don't need to chase you. Once you give them 2 weeks, you achieve it in 2 weeks. Nobody is running after you because of all of that stuff. And then these are things, relationship building techniques. How do you build relationship? You active listening. If they are talking, you listen. listen, show that what they are talking is matters. Understanding stakeholder goal and constraint. What do they want and what is their what is their constraint? Be neutral and be diplomatic. If I want to just be neutral and diplomatic, don't be on one side. They may be what we you guys may be working for the same people, but they are decision maker. Be reliable, honoring promise, missing deadline. If you someone invites you to meeting, join at that time. Don't join late. Join as at when due. Don't keep joining. I know people that in my office also or in my where I work, some people just join meeting late and people are counting it for them. And people they may not say it now, but they will be saying they may in their meeting will say that guy just join meeting late every time and he doesn't apologize. If I join meeting late 1 minute, he just I'm so guy, I'm sorry, just was running over from my previous meeting, and that's why. It just to make them feel welcome because you can't just keep me on the call for 2 minutes and just join in and just do as if nothing happened. No, something has really happened. One-on-one checkup, you can check up on them. You can reach out to the person, Abdul, personally, and say, Abdul, are you sure what I explained to you understand? Or are you sure you're happy? And then and you can have informal chat with them, especially if you are using the same office, you guys work on site. Oh, there's one time then I was working with someone. I didn't know the person works. Then I was working in the office, and I didn't know the person worked in the same office. And the place is big, and someone is saying, have you ever met the designer?" I said, "Who?" Say the designer in my team. I said, "No, is he here? I thought she's in Japan." I said, "No, she's here." Really? I said, "No, I don't know." I said, immediately I just chatted her out, but like, I don't know you are in the same. I'm in so place. Are you there? He said, "Yeah." Oh, can we catch up later over the coffee? Just go to the coffee, have coffee. Even if you you are not don't have want to have coffee, have something, want to have water. Just sat there. Hi, you guys. How you feeling? How you been? Welcome. Are you coping with the job? Just talk, neutral, and go. So that when next time we chatted him or her, person will know like, that guy not my guy now, that person not my person. All right. Yeah, any question before we proceed in this stage? We'll just go to the document you produce now. Then any question? Yeah, you guys can type your question. Let me know. And you can send your question on the group chat also if you want. Just let me know. Drop your question, please. Don't be. I don't know. If people, is it that I'm a very good teacher, or I'm explaining everything to people understand everything, or it's just that, or you don't understand everything, or you don't understand anything. Is it that you understand everything, or you don't understand anything? Which one? Which stage are you? Guys, you chat now. Guys, you guys want to become BA, you need to talk. Nobody's chatting. Oh, really? Yeah, I will assume I'm teaching. You guys are understanding everything. I think it's more of discussion right now. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the other side then. That's what I would believe. What was it? Should we okay? Yeah. Can you see my screen? I think so. Yeah. We have a document we call business case. All right. The document is called business case, and then it's called business case, and these are what is entails in a business case. Okay, what is a business case? Business case is actually, you see, like I said the other class, I don't know if you guys are there, was that what I'm trying to teach you guys is that I'm teaching you A to Z. All right, you may not need everything for get being a BA. All right, all right, the part. Oh, good. Yeah, you may not need everything to become a BA or business analyst. All right, but you may not know where you find yourself also. You may be lucky, you find yourself to be a consulting BA or work with consulting firm, and this is what you'll be doing. But you may lucky you can find yourself in IT is what we'll do later. More of what, but you still need this one also because you're working in IT today, process improvement, and they just have a project, a new one to do. They're asking you, do you know how to do this? And I say, no. And that's why I'm taking the stretch of it now. Right? All right, projects, business case is actually like a Abdul want to do a business. I didn't know, or you want to do, you want to do something, but you didn't know if it's worth doing. Abdul said is which example should I use now? Can someone just tell me any example you guys want me to use? I want to build an app for people to reach out to me, or just we feel like app you want to be a functional app for a global, a global stuff, and then you want to see it on paper. I want to see there's a business, there must be a business justification for every project. What is it bringing? It may not be money, it may be reliable, it may be trust. We want to build the trust of the customer. See some cases that someone is selling something online, and then you now like the product. You now say the first thing we want to ask the person is like, do you guys have on-site store? What? Why? Because there's something say like, I'm not trusting this product, I'm not trusting this thing. The person say just DM me for price or something, like, no, I'm not. Do you have, you like, I'll prefer walking into, yeah, that's what we are saying now. We want some guys want to build something or a project, want to do this project based because of trust. I want to build trust. Some want to just enhance. You can see Milo, even Milo or beverages, they change the looks of their, of their thing time to time. All right, that's a project also. They want to see, they didn't just change it one day and start selling it. They've done some sample prototype. That's what business case also is. And also, let me now take it back to building and all of that. Architect has done the architectural drawing, has shown the client or stakeholder, now is happy with it, and we've shown the engineer they're happy with it, right? Remember, I said the architect doesn't build it, but the engineer, all right? Then, but we want to see how much will it cost us. That's the example of it. How much? That's why I'll now call the Q&S quantity surveyor. Calculate or value this thing for me. How much will I need? 40 million naira, 80 million naira. So that I know that the money I have can do this project. Why do we see abundant projects here and there? It's because someone has not sat down and do a business case. I think that makes sense, right? Yeah, that's why this business case. And for every businesses, they do business case. You guys may not see it, you may not be part of it. Someone do the business case. All right. What will be there is project mandate. I'll go through it. But these are just documents. I think even AI can give you this document, but you need to understand why. I've explained why do we do it. Let's understand what is inside of it, but you need to understand. We don't need. We don't. If you need, if you just these things can be learned by AI, you can just go there. I see some assignment that someone just, I think they just put in AI, bring it out, submit like that. You need to work on it. You need to, AI is good, but you need to work on it. I see every organization will use AI. You need to work on it. All right. Let's see the project mandate. All right, for this project now is that these guys sells, is a boutique, and they sells this. They are currently on social media, but this is not enough for the business to showcase their business, their, their product, because they have limitation and potential customer. Just read through. I'll share this with you, and then this is it. But in what do they want to do now? Yeah, what do we want to do? Start from here. For the purpose of the business, this boutique wants a platform where customer can visit, explore, and make orders and payment in real time. Because what's the problem here is that if you chat on social media, we don't have enough space to display what we have. One, I can't respond to you 24 hours because we'll sleep. My staff will sleep. You can't make payment because I'm not responded. A lot is happening. But on the website now, you can see everything display. You can register, you can log in, you can navigate, you can check the product catalog, you can make payments, and you can. This is the what we want to do now. This is just a very simple project, like very simple project, right? This is what we want to do. Think I'm making sense. That is what. And then you now have the executive summary. Executive summary is saying that they've given it to you and this is what they want to do. Just read through. This is what they want to do and what they want to achieve. That executive summary is just a brief of just what we've talked about. This is what the customer give us. Executive summary. The executive. This is summary of what the executive said they want. Very one paragraph, and that it is. All right. All right. And then we have the problem, business problem. What are we solving? It's just to explain more on what we are solving. Because in that fourth page, I can't explain. Now we want to stop. Does not have features so that project you can't categorize it because on Instagram, I will just post everything, shoes and bag together, and Shein and everything. But in this case, we want to have category. All right. The business does not have exposure driven by sales transitioning market. If Instagram shut down, the business has shut down. You know, a lot is the problem we have. Given the industry trend and website the customer make purchases seamlessly. Before that, by transition to e-commerce, the business does not have market exposure required to drive expected sale because we have more product, but we can't get it. And by transitioning, this is what we'll get and all of that. I think it's more to read through. And then what is the business option? See, there are business options here, but and then the business option is saying 1 minute. Uh, okay. Yeah, business option is that we should do nothing. We have three business options. Is that we do nothing, we do little, or we do something. All right, this is do nothing. If you do not do anything, the same thing will remain as it is. It's as simple as that. I think it's more explanatory. And then if you do, there's another one called do little or do the minimum. If you do the minimum, means that this one is that we just patch it there. We just maybe we'll go premium instead of ordinary Instagram. We can go Instagram premium. That's the minimum we can do. We're still using that platform, but that's the minimum we can do. All right. But if you have any other example, I can that you guys. But do something. There's not do something now. What is do something? This is to do or to build the website. All right. And then what will be the benefit? Will business growth, brand building, content distribution, payment gateway, increase in sales. A lot will happen. All right. A lot will happen. That's it. That's the essence of doing something. And then there are so many benefits to it. Benefit goes from seamless customer experience. These are enhanced security. Your data now is safe. Not that someone is chatting with you tomorrow, someone hack my Instagram and is getting across to you. These are the benefits of if you do it, and that's why business case. Want to build a new house, this is why we need to do it. If you put 7 windows, it will have more hair. If you not put anyway, the thing will be there. Or we want to renovate a house. If you do not do nothing means that the house will be the same. Do little means that maybe we should just paint it. The problem maybe is leaking is still there. Maybe the roof is leaking, maybe whatsoever problem why you trying to renovate in the first place is still there. But you just what? You just painted the house. But if you do something now means that maybe you need to introduce some column or pillar and make the house solid, change the roof, do screeding, and then you paint the house. Then what the problem that is solved. And this is what business case is all about. All right. Oh, this is what business case is all about. Then there will be sorry. There will be this benefit also. There will be why there will be some disbenefit. Because for everything that has benefit have this benefit, which is what you have you surely have additional, you'll be maintaining the website, you may have technical issue, if the cloud has issue, cyber attack. These are just projected risks, things that might happen but may not happen, right? But you need to list it out. Like, if we do this thing, we may subject ourselves to this, but we will now, since you for you to understand this means that there will be, you will now get something to mitigate these issues. All right. And then would that do market research, we do market research, financial benefit, we'll do, you guys will read that through, now do SWOT analysis. um we'll do SWOT analysis. What is the opportunity? We do what we want to do. What is the strength? What is the weakness? What to be the opportunities? What to be the threat? Just opportunities that we will have. Strength is that we can compete with other Jumia, Amazon, and all of that. All right, those are the opportunity. Our business will grow. We'll have loyal customer, but the threat is that we need to keep improving also because of cyber security, data privacy. We need to ensure compliance. These are threats, or these are things that make serve as threat. All right, but we can convert everything to our opportunity and our strength. But that's why you are there. You need to keep improving on it. And then we have what we call pestle. What we have what we call pestle analysis. We need to do some analysis and see what is the political. Pestle is called political, economical, social, technological, legal, and environment. How will these things affect this project? Political, maybe there's election coming up next year, or there's a bit of assessment in that country or where the country we are, or what Trump is doing to other people now and be sending increasing tax of export and import duties. Maybe you need to just list it out so that this decision what we are making, will it affect us in any way? Economical will be tax, maybe that tax reform that Tinubu is doing and all of that. There may be a lot of things, tax reform, it may be maybe inflation, it may be cost of the supply chain, a lot. What about social? Does it affect us in any way? If we are building this thing, we know that, let's say my company that I'm building is in the northern part of Africa, and then would they be, I must know what I want to sell to them. Is our website selling what they want in another part of Africa or so? The way, their cultural biases or their cultural way of life, does it equate to what we are these are things you need to change in fashion and all of that. Health and safety, is it safe? Yeah. Is it, what's the demography in US? In some part of US now, you can't sense, if you are just selling some things, you're just wasting that, because demography there is baby boomer, and they are not interested in what you are selling. You need to understand the demography of the region or what this business is bringing. How young are they? Oh, they are young people. Young people buy this kind of thing. Can we sell it to them? Technology. You may assume that everybody, just like this high neck technology now, there's some are having some biases that there's no technology in everywhere in Nigeria. Some are saying that doesn't need technology. And according to what I read, is that the stuff does not need technology to update the data. Okay, and that's what they've taken it into consideration because of Nigeria condition, or those rural, or the project condition. The INEC, I think you guys understand what I'm saying, is that the INEC, what was that thing called? Digital stuff, is that they, when they want to build it, they built it in the mind that not everywhere in Nigeria, or not everywhere, has network. And that's why they do it as like autopilot, that we don't need network to do it. And that's, if you, maybe I should leave that, come to maybe everything, something that is globally acceptable, is Google Map. You can drive on Google Map, or you can use your Google Map without network. It will ask you, do you want to use it offline? These are things they, because they understand that in some cases people have gotten I may be driving now and get to one interior part of, it may be even the I am a mighty USA, and network, there's no network. It is, they bring it into consideration, they improve on the Google Map and ensure that the Google Map will continue working offline even if there's no network, and getting me through, or getting me to where I'm going safely. These are what people consider in business case. All right, let's go to technology. Awareness of hacker also technology. I'm seeing technology. Hacker, just that you know that there's a hacker. Yeah, then you build your, you keep building, you keep upgrading, and all of that. We have legal. What's the local authority? What are they saying? Like, uh, like in some parts, this is what they believe. This is what is acceptable within their region, and in some places, not that is not acceptable. All right, you need to understand. You need to understand. The customer protection law. All right, what is the customer? What's the refund and refund policy? In Nigeria, I know we don't have refund policy, but if all this, you buy something else from somewhere, and then you return, you can escalate it. In some countries, it's 30 days, depending on it. Some countries have has the 60 days, and they must abide with it. You need to understand so that you can put it on your system. You can build it and say refund available till 30 days. Because if you don't put it, you may not comply with the local law of that community, and you'll be fine. It may not happen in Nigeria, but outside Nigeria, you'll be really fine. I have an example recently that, I don't know, you guys know this marketing opt in and opt out. Maybe you are buying something on internet, or you sign up on something, and they are saying, do you want them to be sending you their update marketing? And then where I work, and then in that country, the person had opted out, and they keep sending him the email. Person sued the complaint and got money. These are things you need to be aware of, all right? And the environment, what is project about? Is it about something that about the environment? How will it influence the environment? A lot needs to be taken care of. But these are just normal things that we normal thing. I'm just trying to break it down for you. You may not need it when you get your role, but it's good that you have an idea of what a business case is. I know a lot. Yeah, and they will do some time scale. How do you, because you split the project into time scale. We have four differentiate stage. You have initiate, define, execute, and closure. How long do you want to stay on each project, and when do you want to start the project? This, you are still doing this project, and you've not started a project, but you need to do this business so that you know that this is worth doing. After you know, now you present this thing, you submit to the executive, they will say, oh, this is actually worth doing. Why can't we do it? Oh, this is not worth doing. It's not giving us any gain. It's not benefiting anything. It saved them money. What about if they did the disadvantage of this, is that if they are going ahead and build it, and at the end of the day, they don't need it, spend hundreds thousands of dollars and build something, and it's not functional. I think we have a lot of that in Africa, even in outside the country. A lot of they just build it and you just see that this is it's not serving any purposes. Like even some state government building airport that people hardly fly, or people just fly once in a, maybe just want December period of the year, and the airport will be serviced. We just need to. These are problems we have. It's because it's not the project business case. Coastal road, like coastal road, also we should be all know that, and you need to do what will affect. How will it affect people? What is the gain? Is the gain worth it? Is in some areas are actually lands that belongs to government, but they can't chase out the people again because people are built on it. You just look at the business case. If you clear this place, will it what we want to build there because we want to build road? Just check and balance and see. These are I just pray I'm I'm bringing it home to you guys. All right. And there's cost also, estimated cost. It's just a predicted cost. You just say, okay, since we break it down, this is how much you spend at this cost, and then all of that. Because at the beginning, the man will have told you the cost that he likely want to spend, and you break it down and say, okay, I think it's still within my range, and he will decide, make decision, or it may be the board of directors. Okay, and we'll have some investment appraiser. These are not necessary. These are just something you can, I think, mathematician on the call they can understand, just to understand that does it worth doing? How long will we get our money back? But in this case, it's a business, it's for a boutique. They want to see if they will get their money back. In some cases, it may just be we want to improve our system. It may not that they are getting money back, but they are making more sales, or they are building more trust. People have complained that there's an app in Nigeria that I think AfriInvest. I don't know how many use that. Whenever you go on the app, you need to put your username and password every time. I don't know if it's security purpose, but it can be annoying also. You can save the password. You can save the username. I can put my password. Things a lot. It can be proven. You can just change the look and feel of the, just catchy. A lot can just be compliance. In some places in Japan, you write your last name first before, if you are feeling, you go on any website now, just put any website in Japan. You see, if you want to fill a form in Japan, you put your last name first and your first name. But in other country, you put your first name first and last name. That's their compliance. That's what they want in that country. If you don't comply with it, your website will be flagged and you may be punished. All these things is why, if you are doing business in that community also, you need to comply with them because it's their regulation. All right. And this is just to make sure that do this is just the formula how to get your money back. How much do you think you make? This is the how much you want to spend. This is how much you think you get back. This is how much you think the profit will be. Then just do the some calculation. This is more called business realization benefit. You just want to see if there's benefit in it. I think we should be running up, and then I think what next? Okay, release as yeah. I think the last slide now. I know you guys are getting. Last slide will be the risk assumption, and then depend issue and dependent. It's actually called this is more of project manager. All this thing we are doing is project manager business, but you don't know where you find yourself. If you know it, you know it. Just know why. You can use AI to improve yourself. All right, know why. Risk is called this is called risk log. Read log. R for risk, A for assumption, I for issue, D for dependency, and log just like a table. Right. For the project now, I just want to understand what is the risk. All right. What is the assumption? What is the issue? What is the dependency? The risk is that there will be delay, maybe delay meeting with the sponsor because the man is so busy. All right. The budget may be impacted. The budget may not be enough. That's risk. If I give you this project to do now, people may not be fully, you know, We have 5 people on the call. It have been moving from 5 to 8. People may not be consistent. These are risks. People did not know this. People did not know have much knowledge of this project. The assumption now is that what is real risk is that, okay, maybe I should explain risk. Risk is something we project that might happen that has not happened. We project it might happen. Okay. Assumption is that this one is a sure banker, it will happen. Like risk possibly means maybe bad. Yeah. Assumption is that sure we'll do this on a positive note. Can see that budget allocated will be covered, will cover the project will completed during the time, team member will cooperate, assuming this thing happen. We are assuming also. Okay, it can be risk and assumption, you can flip it. But issue is what is happening right now. Okay, now for risk in Nigeria is that there may be not be light, there may not be network, there may not be light, there may not be network, national grid may go down, there may not be network, they may, just look at the risk. They may be, I don't know, a lot of risk can happen. Assumption is okay. Assumption is there may be weather issues, that's risk. Assumption is just okay, the positive one, just pick the positive one. And issue is what is happening right now. Okay, assuming we've started the project now, people are not joining. The light issue has started, is now an issue. Before it was a risk, it was projected as risk, but it's not an issue. It's not something currently happening. Something like that. Just come up with, fill up those gaps. You can do. I think I'll give you guys an assignment to prepare this document. Just do it yourself. Find time to do it. Keep this thing for yourself as portfolio. And then the best thing you can do for yourself is that wherever you do it, just catch up with the class. Whatever you say, do your own. Even if I did not tell you guys to do it, just do your own. Just do your own. Keep it. Your type to it as your own. Backdoor or JP document. This is your own. Put your own project. Whatsoever you think it is, put it there. And dependency is that we are dependent on the project, the is like the assumption. Dependency is more of we are dependent. We are if I did not join now, you guys, this class will not hold. I'm a blocker. Dependency is like a blocker. Yeah, dependent on this thing. Once we speak to Ademola, then we can move on to the next class. Okay, that's dependent. If you did not pay for this class, you will not able to join. These are dependency. Any question, any contribution, any clarification, let me know, please. Desktop. All right. My people I understand that they know this thing very well. Um, there's a final document. I don't know if you guys want me to go through that, but I can share it. It's just more of the same what we have here, but yeah, you can share it if you want. Let me see if I can share it with you guys. Yeah, maybe I'll just have a read through and then I'll share with you now. It is actually uh, yeah, it's called business required document. Now business case need to be signed up by Oga, the sport project sponsor, CEO, or whosoever that is in charge of project. They've agreed that they will do the project now. All right. Then you've now spoken. When do we do business case? Before we start the project. All right. Before you start with the project, you speak to the sponsor. give the sponsor, project sponsor, maybe CEO, it can be anybody. Speak to the sponsor, and then after you give the sponsor back the project mandate, the project business document, business case, sorry, then the sponsor sign it up. I'm happy with it, or we are not doing it. But if you say you are doing it, then you now start speaking to that your stakeholder table you formed, those CMD, everybody that you form, you speaking to them, and that's when you will produce this one. It's called BRD, business requirement document. This is one of the major documents also. You may not do that business case as a business analyst, but this one, the probability that you will do it is very, very high. It's very, very high. And then you just, I can read through it. Understand what payment? Nobody is making payment here. I don't understand what to say. Light TV. I'm not talking about payment, any payments here, okay? People that handle the payments on the platform also or the classroom, they might talk about that, but I don't know which payment. If you want to explain better, okay? Thank you. Yeah, if you see also, you see that from the business case, we just have something like table of content. It may not be necessary, yeah. But there's another tools we can use. I'm showing this thing on Word because you guys don't you don't have other tools that will be using that will start. We'll use these tools. It's called Confluence, and we'll use it next week Saturday by God's grace. Then this is what it looks like. It looks like what we have in the business case, but it's just more of it or explaining it better. The executive summary, just we have it there, the project description, the project scope now. What do we want to do? We only want to do the in home page, this one, down one, down one. We are not doing this one, down one, down one. We're only doing A, B, C, D. We are not doing E, F, G, H. These are things that we want to do. What are the business driver? What is financial statement? Or the functional requirement? Yeah, we'll now split it now. You're now splitting now. What does the document want? What does these are what is in functional requirement? What are non-functional requirements? I have something called non-functional. These are questions they may ask you at the interview. What is a functional requirement? Functional requirement is anything, a feature that makes the system to work, that you can see, that you can interact with. But non-functional requirements are those things behind, like speed. When you click on that button, you want it to load and open in 2 seconds or less than 1 second or millisecond. That speed, that's a functional scalability. All these ones are functional requirement. Performance, how do you want it? These are non-functional. These things that make the system to work, but you cannot see, you cannot feel. But all those things that you press that green button, login button, these are functional requirements. The doctor want to come where he puts, I gave the patient injection. I want to see the patient medical history. These are functional requirements. And we have priority of like, what do we want to do now? What do we do later? And all of that, it's much there. You can I'll share the document also. The executive summary is just like the normal one. Yeah, it's just like executive summary, just like what we have in the business case, the project description, what we want to do, and then a lot project scope now. The project scope is this is what we want to focus on, and then what is in scope. You can see now home page, account management, save, secure. Well, these are what is in scope. What is now out of scope now? We'll see what is out of scope also, which what is out of scope is this is still visual appealing payment option, customer CRM in scope. Out of scope now, support. We can't support it. Future enhancement. This is the delivery method, artificial and AI driven analytics. These are out of scope for this project. Maybe next one or after this one, we'll deliver this one. Do you know why this is better? Is that just like WhatsApp? I think I did use that last week also. When they want to build WhatsApp from scratch, they didn't say they will build everything from texting, chatting, all of that to uploading picture, uploading profile picture, uploading status to video calling and new features they brought on now, resharing now. They did it like let's start with chat. At least they can chat. Later, you can log in, register, chat. Later, let's introduce people can call, just call, voice call, later video call. Later, you can now do business WhatsApp, you can do some catalogs. Later, you can upload status, unlimited status. Now you can reshare someone. I can just look at your post and reshare. They keep building, but it's a project, a section in project by project. iPhone 1, I don't know when iPhone started. Let's say iPhone 10, iPhone XR, iPhone 10. They know where they are going, but they just all they sit down and say this iPhone 17, can we change this thing? This is another project. But in this one, this is what we are just focusing on. Then if anything is coming, it will come as an iPhone, another iPhone. All this product that is still iPhone, all this thing is still a project. But we can't do project must have a start and end date. If you say we want to keep it unfinished, project A, project B, iPhone 10, iPhone 11, iPhone this, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, like that, like that. That's how to do, that's agile. It's how to keep improving. If we say we want to do in scope and out of scope now, we may not finish in 8 weeks, abi 6 weeks, the clients want it ready. But let's push something else. There's website people can buy. Then in the web, since we are bringing people, we can now build some things more and start tracking how people buy. How we can't just say we want to build and start tracking. You can do some little tracking also, but let's do something. Let the man register, then we can build on it. All right. And these are things, the business drive, these are just like most of what is in the yeah, maybe I should talk about this. We have priority rating, like just like we rate it. How do we come to what is in scope and what is not in scope? Is that we rate it. The man will say, this one is very critical for me, I can't do without it. Some say high, some say medium. If you can include it in there. Some say, this is very low for me, can do it later. Or someone will just say future. This can be done by rating. And there's another one we call MOSCO. MOSCO is just an acronym for must have, should have, could have, and won't have. All right. The O in between just to make it called. Or type it in the chat is must have. It's a must for me, critical for me. Should have. We should have it also. We should have it. It's like it's close to must, but we should have it. Those two, then could have. You could have it if time permits or if the money permit, we could have it. And then there's won't have. This one is just we won't have this one. Just like example of the house I gave. The house is leaking and I want to renovate it. The roof change is a must have. It's either you change it anyhow, you just fix the roof is a must have. All right. Then the ceiling changing is a should have. When you change the roof, you change the ceiling. All right. Then maybe screening you could have it if money reaches. All right. Then maybe wallpaper and that. I say I don't. I won't have that one. All right. These are how to categorize it. That's project for you. That's project categorization. But I think that's that for me today. Yeah. Maybe I should just show you this last one, and then we have this requirement category, the things that we have What is it? What does the home page website must have a body page that is attractive, user friendly, easy to navigate with icons and all of that. This one will still break it down when we get to the later part of the class. But it just to detail, just put it in a document and understand how this thing work. I will show you in let me show you guys how this thing. Let's see. Okay. I'll show. Can you see my screen? All right. I'll show you this. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. See, this is the document. Instead of that being in a Word, you can just put it in this document. This Confluence. This is called Confluence. This is allows, unlike Word, someone needs to. There's a lot of restriction of. It's not easy to navigate. This is very easy to navigate. I can click on this one. If I want just to, instead of scrolling down up, down, I'll just click on this one. It takes me to where functional requirement is. I can share this with you guys. And then if you are working in the same organization with me, or on this page also, I'll share with you when we get there. You you can edit it, you can work on it, even if it's in my project. It allow collaboration. You can work on it real time, and you can be working on it. All of us, five of us, six of us on this call, can be working on it together. That's the good thing. Unlike words, you can't. I think that these are things that we use, and that's why you can be speaking to 10,000 people, same working on this same page. All right, these are things that, and you be the one to facilitate it, tell them what to do, tell them not what to do, and all of that. Yeah, I think we've come to the end of the class for today. Any question? We'll get to this place. Don't bother yourself. But today, recap is that we'll understand how to categorize stakeholders. We understand how to manage stakeholders, which is very key. How to relate with them. How to manage stakeholder, what they want, what they don't want, how to so that we can achieve successful project. We are not trying to be high service person, no. But you need to you have stakeholders. Like I said, you have people from use the hospital for example, doctors, nurse, auxiliary nurse, nurse assistant, physiotherapist. You speak to a lot, they will have different thing they want. And then imagine they are learned also, they are very educated people. You can't just quarter their feelings, no. You should speak to them, you need to know how to manage them. Speaking to professor, speaking to people that are high and mighty in their own field. There are a lot you need to know how to speak to. You need to know what they like to hear, not like just how they like to be addressed. And we move to business case. Why do we do business case? And how do we do it? When do we do it? We do it before project started. You meet with the sponsor, give you the brief, and you document it. We do it because we want to do a prototype. We want to ensure that the project is worth doing, so that we understand the business benefit realization of the project before we do it before, and once we get a sign off, then we can proceed with project. But what is the advantage is that it help us understand, is it worth doing? Help us understand what we want to take out of the project. Help us also understand how we will get the benefits we'll get on it at the end of developing the project. And then we move to business realization business requirement document. We want to document our requirement. Now that is being done after business case have been signed off. You've spoken to your stakeholder, and you want to break the requirement down into categories, and then break it into functional and non-functional requirements. They want to prioritize it also using Moscow, must have, should have, could have, and won't have. Won't have, just this English, we won't have it. Or use the critical medium, um low, and future, whichever language you want to use, or whichever one. These are ways we use. And then we come to the functional requirement, and things you can interact with as a user. And non-functional requirement is things that aids the front end, the display you can see from the back end. Functional is like front end, non-functional is like back end things that make it happen. We've come to the end of the class. Thank you everyone for joining. If you have any question, let me know. Drop it in the chat or drop it in the classroom. I will advise you guys do, instead of, because if I may give you an assignment, but just do one for yourself, business case for yourself, and do one BRB for yourself. Just keep it as your portfolio and work on it. This class, 2 hours or so, cannot be enough for you to understand all this thing in deep. Go and read it back, ask questions. Asking questions will make you understand better. And that will be the end of the class. I'll wait for 1 minute. If you don't have any question, we close for the day. All right. See you guys then. Tuesday we'll meet again. I think before that time, I will share some link with you for you to download or sign up on, and then you can sign up on it, and then we'll meet in the class. Start using our tools from next class Tuesday, same time we had it last week, and this Tuesday, and then I'll see you. Bye.